being understood is self-centered. It's understanding that is the antithesis, or I don't know if that's the right word, but it's the flip side. Especially in relationships. Aloha, Alex here, and this topic of debunking self-centeredness is not necessarily an easy thing for me, and I think that's because I'm not considered normal, although there's this thing. I went to an AA meeting this morning, and I don't think that's anything I hide or anything. It's an ongoing thing for me. Multiple meetings a week is just part of the program. And before the meeting, I'm standing at the sink, and I'm saying, well, wouldn't it be nice to be normal for once? Because it's just not normal, this life of dealing with addiction and alcoholism. And then I thought, wait a second, I'm as lucky and as fortunate as I could ever be, because I'm feeling it. I'm feeling how grateful I am. So what's the issue? It's like, who cares about being normal? Because I'm thinking maybe normal people don't even think about like this self-centered thing. I've heard that that's not the case. Normal people do. It's none of my business. For me, I'm going to jump right to the end here. The issue boils down to this want to be understood, like especially in relationships, in all of the relationships, even with my grandkids, right? Or they're grown adults. They're adults now, my children, but all of my relationships, my friends, my significant other, it doesn't matter who. My dad's still living, if you could understand. No. It's being understood is self-centered. It's understanding that is the antithesis, or I don't know if that's the right word, but it's the flip side. Especially in relationships. Now, the key is understanding me, getting to know me, and on the way to getting to know me is this differentiating, it being able to see that false self, that debunking of the self-centeredness is seeing, wait a second, that's not me. How do I do that? Now, so there's two parts to it. There's that, and then there's also, in a relationship, forget about me and get to know the other person. I don't know if understand where this other person is coming from. Have compassion, have empathy. Where are you coming from? Makes all the difference, changes everything. But that key, when things go awry, and I need to take a look at something, it's I have this dotted lining. I do dotted lining. Go to from one section of, if I'm using the book of Alcoholics Anonymous, I'll be in one section and I'll dotted line it to another section. Go back and forth because it's really a reference manual of study over the years. Something is very revealing when I can see that things are tied together from section to section, all over the book, from beginning to end. I also dotted line things from Malama Aloha Pono to the book of Alcoholics Anonymous, or to Byron Katie's The Work. I'll dotted line all over the place to really have that understanding. Keeping it simple. Tying it together. Debunking the self-centeredness, for me, being not normal. It's not that it's not easy, it's that it's slippery. And I keep using that word, it's slippery, because it wants to just slide out of the way there. Don't go there. It has a grip that it wants to remain in place. That's self-centeredness. So what pierces it are those 4 questions in the assessment, the 3rd segment of Malama Aloha Pono, where the foundation of that is the page 67. Dotted line it back to page 67 in the Alcoholics Anonymous book, which I have spoken about many times. It follows the page 65. 65 is where it lists the people, but I'm dealing with only one person. Or even if I'm dealing with a bunch of people, it's only one at a time from the past. But I'm dealing with somebody in my life right now, that I'm having an issue with. I'm pointing the finger. Like, look at what this person did to me. And that's on page 65, listing the cause, what it affects. On page 67, page 66 is beautiful, incredible. Are the questions that pierce that self-centeredness, like it gets to the root of what's the truth. Differentiating the lie to the truth. And it asks it, the reason I've pulled it out into the form of Malama Aloha Pono in that assessment, because it breaks the sentence says, where had I been? Now I'm dealing with where am I being? Selfish, dishonest, self-seeking, and frightened. That's on page 67, first 4 questions. In Malama Aloha Pono, it's 4 separate questions instead of where had I been. It's the where am I being separated. Where am I being selfish? Answer that. It's more clear for me to pierce. That's the self-centeredness. That's breaking the ice, the icebreaker. And where am I dishonest? And it's not complicated. It's not difficult, because I can answer those questions when they're broken apart in separate. And where am I self-seeking when I get that that's the pride question? And that where am I frightened? I've done this before, but seriously, the self-centeredness is a daily, for me, because I'm not normal, issue. That's what's behind. That's why it's in the book, and behind everything in all the other 12-step programs. That's what is worked with. It doesn't say anything about the drinking or the drugs or the nicotine or the gambling or the whatever the symptom is. It's dealing with that because this is what is behind it. is it impacting relationships in a negative, damaging way and going right over my head because the self-centeredness is not being debunked until I do that. Of course, there's more, because then there's now they don't get into the subconscious as much in the 12 steps. I go directly into it with Malama Aloha Pono, but that righting the wrong, they sometimes get into, apologizing. No, it's different with Malama Aloha Pono. It's making sure it's crystal clear that it's righting. The only way to right a wrong is to turn back the hands of time and do something different. It simply can't be done. So the next best thing to right the wrong is what? And then there's always asking the other person, what would you have me do to also, in addition to what I'm suggesting, have me do to make things right? Huge part of the equation in the 5th segment of Malama Aloha Pono. So it's a beautiful thing. It's not, it's the freedom. The freedom. Until next time, aloha.